Hey everyone, it's Laynie and welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning to my channel, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. I want to show you how I got this cool toned cut crease for my look today. If you're wondering what that device is, that is the Liptiful, and I will have a video on this down the road a little bit, but I really want to try it out before I do a full video on it. I'm starting with my Becca Backlight Priming Filter today, and I will have a video on this primer, I want to say Wednesday. So I'm so sorry I forgot to ever do that video. I totally forgot. I blanked. I am using my Unique foundation for this because I'm really in the mood for a light wearing foundation. Something that doesn't feel heavy or cakey on my skin but gives me a good amount of coverage. I'm pairing that with the Kat Von D Cream Concealer, which I really like because it's mega pigmented and it stays put. I don't see people using this very often, and it shocks me because it stays so well. Like, it does not crease. It's amazing. I have been crazy about this Luxie brush. I don't know what it is, but I've been loving it for applying my concealer and my foundations together. I feel like it really melts everything together. It's a nice size for getting all areas of the face, especially around the eyes. I don't know what it is, but I've been really crazy about it. I think it would be similar to the Morphe gold brush that you see Manny MUA using a lot for his foundation. It looks like a similar size. I've never used that Morphe brush, so I can't say from experience, but it looks similar to me. But I just love the way this blends everything together. I will say these Luxie brushes are super soft. I kind of stopped using them for a while, and now I've gotten back into using them, and every time I pick them up, I'm like, wow, these are so soft. They feel so nice. So I highly recommend the Luxie brushes. I have been digging this flower setting powder. It's so nice. It helps everything stay put. It's definitely transparent. You don't see it. It doesn't leave a white cast or give any type of tint. There's some translucent powders that are kind of fleshy colored, and this is not like that. It's just a really nice translucent powder. But I have been adding a little bit of this Ofra banana powder under my eyes, and I feel like it helps just to cancel out a little bit of the veininess I get. I don't like to put too much because you will get a little bit of a yellow cast. And then for my oily areas, I've been using that Tarte setting powder, and I just apply that to the centers of my cheek, the T-zone area, and a little bit more under the eyes, on the eyelids, because my eyelids get really oily, and I feel like it does make a difference. This lip liner is driving me crazy. I featured it in my last video, and it worked so well the first time I used it, and now it's so dry. I actually have to break off the end before I use it because it dries out so fast, and I feel like I'm having to work and layer and layer and layer and push against my lips to get any pigment. It's driving me cuckoo. I do not recommend this one. As always, I will try my best to find all the products and leave them down below for you guys. Every once in a while, I do stumble upon a product I'm using that's no longer available, but I will try my darndest. I'm hitting pan on my Hoola bronzer sample, and I'm so excited. You guys, this sample has lasted forever, so I can only imagine how long the full-size product actually lasts. I mean, I'm just now hitting pan, and I think I've had this for probably 6 months. But this is a really great bronzer. It's just cool enough that you can still contour with it. It's really a nice product. I don't know if I'm going to repurchase because I really like my Unique bronzers, and I kind of want to stick to an actual contour powder so I can be even a little bit cooler toned than the Hoola. So I don't think I'm going to repurchase, but I can't guarantee that. You know, I might stumble into a Sephora and change my mind. You never know. I'm using another Luxie brush to blend this out. This Luxie brush does such a good job. It's actually a blush brush, but I love the angle of it, especially for around the cheekbones, and I can keep it in an upward motion so that the contour doesn't move too far down my face, and it's very soft. This is my own palette that I threw some things together. It's mostly Coastal Scents, a Sephora item. There is a Too Faced Cocoa Contour powder in there, so it's kind of a mixture. That is a Coastal Scents bronzer I'm using to warm up the skin from a palette we got in BoxyCharm, so I don't think I was able to find that the last time I looked online. For blush, I'm using the Wet n Wild Rosé Champagne, whichever you want to call it. And to me, it's a nice apricot color when I look at it. I did see another one at the store that looked a little bit more rose to me. So I don't know, maybe I got a weird one. And I thought it was the perfect, just natural, little bit of color on the cheeks, nothing too extreme for a cool toned look. I'm loving this lip color by Maybelline, Gone Greige. It's definitely a nice cool tone mauve color. It was kind of thick on the edge, so I couldn't get my overlined lip.
I decided to overline my lips today because Manny, anyway, always overlines his lips and looks bomb, so I tried it.
So I did go in with a Real Techniques little tiny brush to get that outer edge. Per usual, I primed with my Shadow Insurance, and can I point out my shirt is the inspiration for this entire look. Who knew the shirt from Ross would create an entire look? But I'm obsessed with this cool tone pink color right now. And this is the NYX palette from the drugstore. I got it at Target, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. I will say this time I had much better success. Do not use any of the powders to set your entire eye first. You'll look like a cakey, disgusting mess. Take my word on it. So this time I didn't set my primer and just went right in, and it worked so much better. I started with the lightest pink and then moved to the taupey color, and I'm trying to carve out my crease in layers, just building up the color, just building up that crease. So starting with the lightest pink and then the taupey color, and then next I'm going in with that next little bit deeper taupey color. This one's a bit of a satin finish, and again just carving out the crease just slowly like an onion. I'm getting Shrek vibes right now talking about onions. Onions have layers, and like that I'm just layering up the colors on my eye. Next I'm going in with that gray color, and again I'm gonna say it again, I'm gonna repeat myself for like the 4th time, carving the crease and just working in layers. If I could do a Shrek voice, I would, but I don't think anyone wants to hear it because it won't sound anything like Shrek. Grabbing the darkest shade that's kind of smoky black in the palette and starting on the outer edge in a V shape, smoking out the outer V, making it a little sultry, pulling it up into the crease, again carving out that crease. That's what I'm doing. And to keep this look from getting too harsh, I will go back in with that lighter pinky toned and just kind of soften that crease out. When I get to the lid, it'll give me that more defined line. You guys, the one thing about this palette, you will see here in a second when I zoom in that it has so much fallout on my cheek. Oh my goodness. That's one thing I don't love. You might want to save your foundation for last with this palette. This is my unique splurge cream in Victorious. It's a matte splurge cream, and it makes the most beautiful nude cut crease. It's perfect for a cut crease. It just glides onto the lid. I do coat both sides of my brush so I get a really nice, smooth, concise line across the lid. Oh my gosh, I think this is the perfect nude for my skin tone. If you were deeper, it'd be kind of a bold nude cut crease. It'd be really cool, but oh, I just think this works perfectly and it makes it so easy.
I've been wearing this matte splurge cream for like 4 hours now, and my hooded eyes haven't creased. That's why I love it for a cut crease. Woo!
Going in with a flat definer brush, I'm grabbing that gray again, and I'm going to work on the crease just a little bit more, defining it just a little tiny bit more. I grabbed the gray because, again, I want this to be a layered, really blended, pretty look. So going gray and then going to that deeper shade just makes it more dimensional and not too harsh. It keeps it really, really blended. So just defining that crease, because this is a cut crease. We want to be like, I'm going to cut you with my crease. Has anyone seen that video on YouTube of the boyfriend talking about the cut crease in the wing or something like that? And he's like, you cut me? Anybody? It's very funny. Try to find it. And I'm going with that lightest shade now and just highlighting the brow a little bit. This is a matte, or at least very close to a matte, so not much shimmer there. Working on the lower lash line, I want this to be really bold too, so I am going in with the gray first and blending it out with the pink just to soften it just a little bit so it blends more into the rest of my face. And oh my gosh, I decided to kind of do a double cut crease a little bit. I think you could call it that. Grabbing the darkest shade, I am defining the lower crease under my eye. And then I'm going back in with that splurge cream and kind of making like a little mini cut crease on the lower lash area, the lower eye area. I really like it. It did look just a little too harsh at first, so I did soften that bottom crease. Because that was cool, but a little too much. So I'm taking that pink shade and just buffing it out just a little bit. so it's not so sci-fi looking, and I think that really made a huge difference. Going in with my Tarte Clay Pot eyeliner and this bended brush, oh my gosh, this makes such a difference in my wing. You guys, seriously, it helps so much. I am just defining the outer edge of my eye and the inner edge of my eye on the lower lashes, and I think it gives it a really cool look, and it kind of ties everything together. And then I will go in and do a full-on wing on the top. I'm sorry I did it off camera because it just takes me so long. My camera will overheat. The struggle is real, but this brush helps me so much. Today was one of those days that my winged liner just kept getting bigger and bigger, but I can't say I'm mad at it. I honestly think it turned out really good, and I think the bold wing looked pretty cool with this entire look. Going in with that deep kind of brownie shade, I'm going to use that for my eyebrows because I'm out of brow products right now. But hey, if you got it and it works, why not? From my custom palette using the Coastal Scents, it's a really nice fleshy toned highlight, and applying that first, and then I'm going in with my Sephora eyeshadow that I use as a highlighter in Undercover. If you saw my last video, I LOL'd at the fact that I kept calling it in between the sheets. My mind was in the gutter. It's just called Undercover, and it's a nice frosty white, and I apply that to the cheeks, to the cupid's bow, the nose, and the inner corner because I just love to light my face up. Using my Carbon Black mascara for my lower lashes, I can't talk, and then of course my 3D mascara on top because I want some va-va boom with my lashes. It really pulls everything together. I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing this video. I had so much fun putting it together for you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I would love to have you be a part of my YouTube family. It would be amazing. And as always, you guys, please try to stay positive because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.